Okay. I'm back again, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. I need a person to tell me if I'm here, unfortunately. So I have my chat window, my OBS, and then I have to move my water because I have to see the other screen. I'm not set up for this, y'all. Like, I don't have a desk. I don't have anywhere to put actual computer monitor stuff. Our living room is set up to play video games, not for live streaming like this. None of my stuff is for this. Like, I've got a sewing project that I haven't been working on because I've been doing this. Because the valley's too fucking busy, because everybody's getting murdered in the goddamn Rio Grande Valley. And so nobody has time to make news about school teachers who get neglected by their daughters and faith healers. Bullshit. Like, I'm trying to get some more of this stuff out of the way. I tried to clear it out earlier, but I streamed for 4 hours yesterday in absolute silence without knowing it until I ended the stream and then went to watch the video back. And I'm probably talking in silence again right now. You can hear me? Fuck. Okay, I don't know what I did wrong last time. I have no idea why my sound wasn't there. Like, I don't do technology on this level. I can use technology if it's already been set up for me. I cannot set up technology to be used by myself. And the cat moved. I was supposed to have kitty cam, and Chloe got up. So Chloe got up. So I guess everybody has to stare at my ugly face. Or something. Yeah, and I'm not wearing glasses. I need to be wearing glasses. Because I've got double vision in my left eye, and it occasionally does triple. And it's a real pain in the ass. Not being able to see out of my own eyeballs. Like, I went to the doctor said my eyes are fine. Says I barely need my prescription. Tell that to my headaches. See, I can't tell if it's my eye that's blurry or if it's my lenses. Because my eye is so fucking blurry. But since there is sound this time and everybody can actually hear me, I need to reiterate everything that I did yesterday that nobody got to hear. So this is a repeat stream in a way, but I'm hoping it will take less than 4 hours because I was doing active digging. And when you're doing active digging, you ask questions and that takes time seeking the answers. Sometimes you have to go click a few wrong links, verify that what you're looking isn't what you need. Or looking at, process of elimination, you're supposed to check all of it, That's what I was taught. It's kind of a scientific method. You eliminate the stuff that is for sure not related, and then you are able to focus more on the stuff that is. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to confirm that some things cannot be mistaken. Because I don't want there to be gray area any more than what there already is. Okay, so I guess I should say hi for anybody who doesn't know who the hell I am, or why I'm here, or why I'm talking to you, and why all of this looks so really crappy and unprofessional. It's because I am not a professional streamer. I do different kinds of art. When I do art, this is my art account, Piper Moreau. Obviously, this is not my legal name. We're not going into that because it's not important, because who I am and the art I make are fucking connected. There's no secrets. So, I am not interesting. I mean, yes, I have lived. We are all interesting people. But just hear me out on this stuff. We are diving into my former stepmother's daughter, Ellen Ring, who goes by the name Carina Carinosa. She is a self-proclaimed healer, among other things. I have been looking up her information that she has posted to the public domain, some of which I cannot share live on the internet here because much of it, well, not much of it. There's a little chapter of what Ellen's been doing that is not safe for work adult content, and I don't want to get myself in trouble by showing what's on these pages that are publicly accessible for free, but to 18 and up, because this is YouTube. Now, I have taken screenshots of that stuff and blotted out the bad words and things, but we're not talking about that today. Today, we are going into Ellen's educational credentials, things that she says she's done to earn her professional space, you know? So I know things personally, having been her stepsister for 20 years, and when she was in high school and going into college, I was in middle school going through high school, and I got to see a lot of what happened to her college days. Now, I wasn't there at the colleges with her. I was at home, and my experience was through Ellen being gone and then Ellen coming back, and then finding out why Ellen had to come back when she was supposed to be gone. And it was my understanding that Ellen, excuse me, it's my understanding that Ellen never actually graduated from any of these universities that she attended. Now, she did enroll and attend 2 or 3 universities in Texas. But as far as completing, no. And since Ellen has claimed that she has credentials, this is the dive. Dave, our brother in all of this, he's my stepbrother, but that don't matter. He is able to access some of these things that Ellen has been using and flaunting to claim that she's graduated from this and certified in that. Well, I got pictures, and I had some serious questions about these pictures. Yesterday, we did the 4-hour silent deep dive. Today, we're going to try and show you what I found and explain to you what I found. And I'm really going to try not to go off on these tangents again, but you know, it's me. I'm going to, in the future, work on making private recordings where I'm not on the internet, where I can maybe clean things up a little, condense it, make it viewable for somebody in 20 minutes or less who's just trying to get caught up, who doesn't need to see how I found these things and where they exist on the internet. Because the screenshots that I took are there to prove that it existed at all. Doing it live is to show that it exists currently. And this is how I didn't make up the screenshots. Like, I don't even know how to edit shit like that together. I can barely make memes. Yeah, I'm not this tech savvy person. So pardon me for the struggle. Thank you for sticking by for it if you are. Yesterday I wanted to start the video with some of Ellen's own words. And I would like to continue doing that again today. I would like to make sure that everybody can hear this. So I need to check in with my friend to see if playing audio on the video is going to work. So let me message her off screen. Okay, next I need to play a video. Can you pop in and see if that sound is also coming through? Then that's all. Thank you, homie. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this video so that she can come in and see. But this is Ellen doing an English practicing exercise with some students in Boquete in Panama. These are questions that Ellen already wrote down for them to read and ask her. And they are asking her in English. She is answering. I find her answers interesting for particular reasons since I got to be around for some things. So,
hey guys, this is Ellen Ring from Cheap Panama Vacation. Just wanted to give you guys a look at what it looks like to get interviewed by some students who are practicing their English for school. So here we go. Okay guys.
What is your full name?
My name is Ellen Marie Ring.
Are you USA citizen?
Yes, I'm from Texas.
Where are you from?
I'm from Texas in a town called Nacogdoches.
Are you retired? What did you do or what do you do?
I'm not retired. I work in tourism and I have a discount directory which also has consumer reports.
alright, so I found it interesting the way she introduced herself. She gave her legal name, Ellen Ring. She said she was from Texas, even though she was born in Arkansas. And she claimed to be from Nacogdoches, even though we only lived there for 6 years. She's from Arkansas. She went to college in Nacogdoches and then left. She went to college in Tyler, where we were living, and then left.
Here we go.
And then Harlingen.
Okay guys.
What is your full name?
My name is Ellen Marie Ring.
Are you USA citizen?
Yes, I'm from Texas.
Where are you from?
I'm from Texas in a town called Nacogdoches.
Are you retired? What did you do or what do you do?
I'm not retired. I work in tourism and I have a discount directory which also has consumer reports.
So she's starting to work on consumer reports. This is in 2010. I think this is the beginning of when Ellen started getting involved with money.
Where do you live
Money
now?
scams.
Here in Panama, Chiriquí?
I live here in Chiriquí, in Puerto Dios Abajo,
Why did you travel to Panama?
because it's the best.
How is Panama a tourist place?
Panama.
Oh yeah, we got to go back to that question. Why did you come to Panama? Her answer was because it's the best. She completely leaves out the fact that the reason she's in Panama is because she got married to a Panamanian and he wanted them to move there. That's where his family is and was. I don't know where they all live, but she just, because it's the best. Like, she's not even saying because I got married, because I came here with my husband. I mean, the video playing the interview with Ellen. Okay. I just need to make sure that I'm asking the right questions because, wait, if she can hear me, why am I texting it? This is how disconnected I am from understanding my own technology, y'all. So I just need to make sure that the interview that's playing here in this YouTube video is audible to everybody. I just need to make sure that sound is going through. Like when it plays. I mean, right now I have it paused, obviously. But I paused it on a... Oh God, thank you so much. Alright. You may resume adulthood. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and get this continued and done because it's a short video and I don't have to break down too much about it. But I think it's interesting the way Ellen is presenting herself as she starts to get into this life. We're getting to the beginning of the birth of Carina Carinosa.
I live here in Chiriquí, in Puerto Dios Abajo.
Why did you travel to Panama?
Because it's the best.
How is Panama a tourist place?
Because it's the best.
Panama is a good tourist place. It has some work to be done, but there's so many beautiful things to do in Panama that it's definitely a good place to visit.
What is your favorite tourist place in Panama?
Well, I love Bocas, but I really love San Blas.
What do you think about Panamanian people?
Panamanian people are wonderful, especially los Chiricanos.
I love how she's so into the culture, and then when you see her in America, in her own, or even just on the internet, she has some very intense racism. She was apparently against immigration to America. The people who were needing help in 2020 and all that, like, please forgive me for not remembering where everybody has come from while they traveled to Mexico to try and enter America to seek asylum or a better life or just any reason to come here. She was very against it. I took some screenshots. We're going to share those later. Some bonus material that I got to post online. But here, the rest of this interview is really just her talking about how she likes Panama. It's interesting how she set up these questions to make sure she's giving the right answers to make everything sound
If you're a visitor in Panama, do you
just me
return
being
to Panama
judgy.
again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what are you ladies' names?
Okay, so we're not going to go into their names, and there's nothing else at the end of this. As you can see, there's like 15 seconds left or so. She asked them their names, where they're going to school. That's not relevant. But just the fact that Ellen, inside of this interview from 2010, she did not mention anything involving her husband, Austin, Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, Tyler, Texas. She's from Nacogdoches, according to her, in 2010. And I think this is just before Carina Carinosa was born. I haven't really pinpointed the exact year when we saw Carina Carinosa for the first time, but I'm thinking it's about 2012. That's just my guess. But we don't need to watch any more of this YouTube video. We're going to go back to General Firefox, and we're going to take that window down. And I have here for you, for us, a bunch of pictures that we are going to discuss. Now, let's start with Ellen boasting about her credentials. Here she is on Alignable, telling people that she specializes in these things: cancer healing, holistic detox, anxiety, PTSD, complex PTSD, adrenal fatigue, gout arthritis. She wants to heal people according to this Alignable thing. And her foundation, according to her, is able to provide services with Reiki and metaphysics and sex therapy, birthing traumas. I mean, she said she's cured people. Right? Just blowing that up for you. She has said people have been cured. So Ellen is on the internet shamelessly boasting. Okay? Here we go, on another website. This is bark.com. She's calling herself a life coach, a cognitive behavioral therapist, a counselor, a doctor of metaphysics and divination, which we can actually talk about that today. I found out where she has been able to claim this. Massage therapist. She says, like, seriously, all the things. She's on bark.com. Now, this is supposed to be a professional, I think, networking website. She's even discussing helping people cure their cancer state. I can't even process how wild it sounds to me that she says this. And then this is a YouTube screen capture of her wall of credentials. This is what she was boasting 2 years ago. This was posted 2 years ago, according to YouTube, and I took the picture yesterday on the internet. So if you're watching it in silence and confused as hell, well, perhaps it's good. I'm going to leave the video up because even you should be able to see the things that I'm talking about. You should understand it, you know? And if you are unable to see, I sincerely apologize. That's why I'm doing this video again. It's why I want to make sure everything gets thoroughly documented before Ellen gets out of jail and has the opportunity to try and delete these things. This is the evidence she's left that proves she has knowingly, willingly committed fraud on multiple levels. I'm drinking coffee, so you know, whatever you need to get your day started, please do. It's 3:30 in the afternoon and I have been troubleshooting to get set up since I woke up. But I'm a night person, so it's like 10 o'clock in the morning for me right now, okay? We're not judging each other, alright? All you daywalkers, enjoy it. I'll be up at night. So, we've got her wall of credentials. And then, let's go next. Bark again. I think I wanted to make sure. Overall life coach. Alright, that must have been a repeat. Open. It happens. Here she is on SoundCloud, calling herself it's 42 years old. This was updated recently. Empath, Distance Reiki Master, Level 5. Indigo Healer, Metaphysical Physician. Metaphysical Physician. See, I like how she took Doctor of Metaphysics and switched it around to Metaphysical Physician. These are the things she's saying that she does. Okay? This is Ellen telling the world what her credentials are, what she is capable of. Yelp. This is on Yelp. Yelp.com. Specializing in shamanic telepathic energy healing, bodywork, bioenergetic reprogramming, holistic counseling, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, nutritional, relationships, rites of passage, guided surrender, manifestation, enlightenment, integration, education, and attunements. All of these things we can talk about regarding the Doctor of Divination thing. I'm going to start closing out some of these that we're not going to need because we're not going to need that SoundCloud one again or that Bark one again or that alignable one. Alright, let's go in here. What did we have in here? Oh, right. I was opening that so that I could look around. Okay, because I wanted to get here. So this is her Powerful Energetic Medicines website. This is something that she made, I think, just for the business side. But she does talk about her personal life on the page, which fascinates me. But she's claiming, right here I highlighted it, qualified alternative healthcare professional. If you've been looking for a truly qualified alternative healthcare professional, Carina Carinosa Foundation can help. So her words are very interesting. She's claiming that her foundation can help. Her foundation is her, so she's saying that she can help, right? So Ellen is in some ways directly administering some of this. Telepathic, modern relationship counseling, removing sexual trauma, sacred surrender, plant medicine, microdose, healing for the deceased ghosts, discarnates, demons, and possessions, how to cure cancer at home. So she's putting it out there that she's qualified. Now let's talk about these qualifications. This is her Tyler Junior College certificate. And I would like for all of us to just sit here and look at it for a second. We've got it on full screen. You see that font? You see that spacing? Carina Carinosa, degree, Associate of Arts, art, given under the seal of Tyler Junior College, Tyler, Texas, December 15th, 2001. Signed by President of the college, Juan E. Mejia, and signed by President of the Board of Trustees, M. Coker, with the Tyler Junior College picture of a stamp. Okay? And this little cute little photo. It goes with the frame, you know. You can see the texture of the paper. Oh, cute. All right. Here we are again. We have same little thing, right? Same little thing. And then what do we have here? We have, oh, it looks identical with the exception of the field of study, economics. Carina Carinosa, the degree of Associate of Arts, Economics, given under the seal of Tyler Junior College, Tyler, Texas, December 15th, 2001. Okay, so double major. That's possible. Oh, what's this? This is a third degree from Tyler Junior College, Tyler, Texas. Carina Carinosa, the degree of Associate of Arts, General Studies, issued again on December 15th, 2001. And I have to ask myself, how common is it to have a triple major in arts, economics, and general studies? 2001. Carina Carinosa. I would like to remind everybody that I know that Carina Carinosa did not become a thing until Ellen was in Panama. That was... Where's the other one? We gotta find the other one. There's one more picture that I had sent to me. And it really should have... There it is. It's supposed to be right there. So, this is from the Universal Life Church. It is a letter of good standing. It was removed from the frame so that a picture could be taken of it without the glare. And it's got the seal, and it was August 18, 2015, and all this official, it's real. This is a real thing, okay? So we've got all these Tyler Junior College degrees, and then we've got that. And so now we are going to start the internet trace. So yesterday I had a few questions about how people can major in multiple things at the same time, and I learned that yes, double majors are a thing, triple majors are a thing. People can do whatever they are capable of doing if they can physically, mentally, and financially afford it. I've heard some amazing stories that I have no idea if they're real, but just people on the internet talking about how hard they've studied and the academic accomplishments that they've achieved. Most of these people are kind of up there in society, and it's more like this is information that just gets passed down through the internet. The, what is it? The legend of bootstrap pulling. Yeah. So I've heard of some people literally bootstrapping their way through college and having as many degrees as they can have in all of the fields of study that they want. Maybe they're not specializing, but they're getting shit done. All right? That's what this looks like on the surface. But I wanted to dig deeper. And I wanted to know a couple of things. So we're going to start with who signed these. Because the information I found was truly fascinating. Let's go into our bookmarks because I took the time to save it. Did I take the time to save it? I took a fucking screenshot of it is what I did. I saved some other things. Okay, so we're going to do this. Tyler. We're just going to go back to the page. See, this is how I found it. I wanted to know who the president was of Tyler Junior College in 2001. Google gave me a history of TJC. I scrolled down to the relevant year. We're doing it again, but we're doing it faster because I didn't have to brainstorm it and click a bunch of wrong links. And then, oh, look, here we go. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're in the 80s. We're in the 90s. Bill Crow becomes TJC president. 1994. Dr. Mike Metke inaugurated as president of TJC 2007. Oh, so we went from Bill Crow to Metke, and on this document that's been signed, we have Mejia. So let's go and look at, where was the thing that when I originally searched it, I decided to search this. And this is where they sent me. A 2019 article from Tyler Junior College, and I'm going to save it this time. 93 years worth of presidents at the Tyler Junior College. So 1927 to 46 to 81 to 94 to 2007. Okay, so we're looking at Dr. Bill Crow. Dr. Bill Crow would have been the active president of the Tyler Junior College at the time, that Ellen claimed to have attended and received the certificates. And, excuse me, my throat is... I'm telling you, I streamed for 4 hours yesterday, and I talked for 4 hours, and my throat's tired, and I'm having to do this all over again. It sucks. So, I got curious, and I don't have an answer because I've never had to do this. I have no personal experience, but I would like to know if a person later on in life after a graduation would be able to contact their school to receive a new or a reissue of their certificate. And they said you can go here to National Clearinghouse where you can type in your school, and you can verify your degrees, and you can have them send you, I guess, another certificate if you lost or never received your original. So I have no idea if through that process you may end up receiving a certificate that was signed by the president at the time that you ordered the certificate. Do you follow? So let's say you graduate in 2001. Bill Crow is president. He signs your thing. You never order it. Then it's 2019 or maybe 2020, because remember that YouTube video was posted 2 years ago, so we know these existed at least 2 years ago. Well, Dr. Mike Metke was active until 2019, so it couldn't have been him. And then Mejia was inaugurated on Friday, October 11th, 2019. So we know at the earliest, Ellen could have received a certificate with this guy's name on it, right, like this one. The earliest would have been in October if it ends up being that when you ask for a replacement that the current administration were to handle and sign and seal your document. If that's possible, then that almost makes this certificate possible. Now, the thing that makes this certificate the most suspicious is M. Coker. There's claim that they are the president of the board of trustees. Well, I looked that up too. Let's see now. It might have been in About TJC. Faculty and staff, executive cabinet, standing committees, board members, board of trustees. The current president is Peggy Smith. Now, we can scroll down this list and we can find Mike Coker. But I wanted to know if he would have been the president at the time that Ellen got the original, which we already know if we're talking about the original certificate that there's no way that Dr. Mejia signed it because he wasn't even at TJC at that time. So that means Mike Coker is the only person possibly left that could have been there to sign the original certificate. However, he was not the active president. And I don't know when her term expires in 2028. These are like 6-year terms or something. I can't remember if TJC does like a 2-year, 4-year, or 6-year vote for these spots, but it's explained on the internet. And if you want to know more about it, please feel free. I do not want to deep dive into that, but if Mike Coker was the president of the board of trustees at one point, maybe. But then that wasn't enough. I needed to know more. So I asked the internet, what does a real TJC certificate look like? So let's do that again. TJC certificate. Images. I did a Google image search. I wanted to find a real one. One that I could hold up next to the one Ellen has and ask, is this it? Now, I had found authentic. I can't remember what my exact search words were. But if you're watching yesterday in silence, you saw it. We need to find it again. Because that was important. It was a very, very important find. There's one of them. So, because when I open that page, it takes me to LinkedIn and then I don't get to open this picture. This is Peggy Smith, 2023, Juan Mejia, Associate of Arts. But look at that seal. You see how much more vibrant it looks? It has texture going on. You see how that is more smoothed? Then let's look at the next one. Smooth. But also Coker. If she would have had these reissued in 2019 or 2020 or 2021, no, it would have been 2020. There would have been different signatures. Now, I found one yesterday that was from 2004. Now let's see if the results kicks it back up for me, because I don't know why my searches are not showing me the same information that I had before. Is this it? No, that's 2016. But let's click it and see if maybe it gives me another person's certificate. No, it doesn't. I'm looking for the one from 2004. There we go. I found it. So this is an authentic associate in art. I want you to see how this looks. The signatures. The president is not that guy. The seal now, if Ellen had graduated with anything special like that, it would have been there. But no, it's not. It's not. But I want you to notice the difference in the spacing. The design of this real one next to this fraudulent one. You can't... I just fucked up my thing. See, technology is hard for me, y'all. But we're going to open that again. We'll get it opened. I don't know why these pictures aren't saving next to each other like they're supposed to. But this is a real one. Now we're seeing a real one. Now, I had more questions. But Google decided to answer them before I even got to ask them. Let's go back up here. And I noticed this. Authentic looking fake certificate. Tyler Junior College. So I clicked it. And I went to the website. And look at that. The signatures are the same. So let's go ahead and reopen the damn picture that I closed because I can't navigate my own computer, apparently. I have too much going on my desktop, I know. So we have these. Now, I want to compare them side by side. That's what I decided to do. Now let's get this lined up in a way. Yeah, let's get those seals lined up together. That's pretty close. Check out that spacing though. You see how that spacing is matched? You see how the language is matched? The name is switched out, Associate of Arts. And then all of the official wording. She didn't even give herself a summa cum laude or anything. Excuse me. And this would have been issued, this sample, they wrote 2020. So this would have been around the same year that Ellen could have. Now, if M. Coker was the president of the Board of Trustees in 2020, that would make sense why this is here. I don't know if they have updated versions of these fake certificates, but here's the website. Do you need a fake college, university, or special institution certificate for your movie or series? Don't worry, click and easily buy the blank and authentic looking fake certificate from Tyler Junior College File. And this is a real website. This is a real place. This is where you can buy it. Please don't anybody do this. Like, unless you really are making movies and you're presenting props to support your characters that are fake. Okay, but like, please let's not do this and do what Ellen's been doing, because look, this is a little promotional video. Grab your Tyler Jr. degree now. So when I compare an old certificate that's fake to a new certificate that's fake, and then how about let's just go back and look at the new one. Let's look at the one that's from 2020 or whatever it said. The one that I was like, it's too modern. Well, look at this. 2023, Peggy Smith. And there, my computer did the thing again. I gotta figure this out. I'm so sorry. I'll try to open it in LinkedIn, but I promise, I can tell you right now, it's not gonna want to open. It's gonna take me to her LinkedIn, but it's not gonna. Where did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Y'all, I'm struggling so fucking hard. Like, we're not trying to be concerned about who this person actually is. That has nothing to do with what we are talking about today. So, I'm not able, like, see, it took me to her LinkedIn. I am not able to view her images. See, it's not in her images, in her posts. Like, unless she posted her diploma here, I'm not going to be able to look at it and zoom in on it without having to zoom in to the Google search page, because I'm not paying for LinkedIn, because I don't need to use LinkedIn in that capacity. So let's try and blow up the page like this. Oh yeah, that doesn't help at all. That makes it worse. Well, let me try this. Now let's look at the new one, the old one. Now let's bring this up. Tyler Junior College. I'm trying to get it where the spacing and everything is lined up to the same size. Alright, so that's about it. And you can see they have different signatures here. The intensity of the ink is less in the reproduction, in the fake. While the font does appear to be the same, I feel like the spacing is a tiny bit off here. It feels like Tyler, Texas is closer to these letters at the top than over here. And it provides just a tiny bit more of a gap between Tyler, Texas and by the authority of the Board of Trustees. So I'm seeing differences between them. I'm seeing differences between the seal, the intensity, and the texture in the seal. So we're looking at, if this was a modern reissue, then who was president during the year that this was ordered? It was posted 2 years ago. It could not have been ordered before October of 2019. So between 2019 and 2023, I could, if I wanted to, try to figure out who that other guy was. But the fact that I found this shit, because Ellen enrolled at Tyler Junior College under the name Ellen Ring. Anything she would have accomplished was not under the name Carina Carinosa. She didn't come up with that until 2006 at the earliest. I'm trying to close that thing. God damn it. So when she was in Panama, she created her persona. I don't think there's any way that Tyler Junior College is going to just reissue her a certificate under a different name from the one she used when she was attending. Now, yesterday I got a little bit into the story, or a lot into the story that you didn't even get to hear because it was silent, about Ellen's educational history, from what I know. So, when we left Nacogdoches to go to Tyler, Ellen had graduated high school, and she started going to Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches. From what I understand, and from what I was told by my adults in the household, Ellen was expelled. She had marijuana in her dorm, and that was an automatic expulsion. So, haha. Just laughing at where it is now in California. Big laugh. Well, from SFA, she then enrolled at Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas, where our parents were living. She briefly moved into the house that we had purchased to live in while we were there. She had a room that was sometimes hers, depending on if she was at the school or not, but she was basically living at the dorm. And then we ended up moving to South Texas, and at some point, Ellen got expelled from TJC. I think it was also marijuana again. And if it was an expulsion for marijuana, then she just quit going. Whatever it was, she did not graduate. She showed back up in South Texas, and she was supposed to be going to TSTC. And that is when, in 2003, I saw her forge, unless they were forged in 2002, but I feel like it was in 2003 when they were forged. But it was my senior year in high school, which spanned the end of 2002 and the beginning of 2003. She forged a loan in our parents' name for $33,000 that she did not use to go to school, and she bought DJ equipment with it. And she showed me the DJ equipment. She was very shameless about it. So I thought I had remembered one of the colleges that when she was attending, I thought that she had taken out a small or medium-sized student loan to attend, and then the loan agency found out that Ellen wasn't using it for school, and then they wanted the money back. So I think she had two different financial things going on, but I could be wrong. It could have just been the same thing happening again. So that's what I understand about Ellen and her education up to 2003. And these certificates here are dated before then. They're saying that she had completed education in 2001, and as of 2003, I had absolutely no knowledge that Ellen had graduated or received a certificate of completion from any university, because she continued to get expelled or drop out. And I don't know about having a reissue with a new name put on it. So I contacted the administration of TJC. I emailed them, and they should be getting back to me in the next week or two. I don't know what they're dealing with right now. I mean, I'm hoping it's not a bad time of the year because it's in between the semester breaks. Excuse me. And it's before all the big holidays. I mean, I know we've got Halloween coming up, but the big holidays where everybody gets time off. So I'm hoping I'll hear back from them about whether or not the certificates that Ellen has put on the wall and is telling people that these qualify her for things, I want to know if they are real. So that's as far as I could get into looking at these, finding out who signed them, and if they would have been at the college at the time she would have been issued this certificate. So I actually want to know if I can quickly ask Google. TJC Board of Trustees President 20, we'll ask 2020 because the end of 2019 is I mean, it'll tell me who the current one is, but I don't know if I can go back and find out who the past ones were. Let's see, maybe because this says these might say it. So this was published in May 2020. Anne Brookshire and David Hudson and Ron Boone re-elected trustees for places 7, 8, 9. Do they tell us who the president was, though? City of Tyler, TJC. Elected President Peggy Wagstaff. Upon receiving after the oath, TJC Board elected officers for the coming 2-year term, with Ron Boone, place 9, elected President, Peggy Wagstaff Smith. So, as of 2020, Peggy was the board president. List and order dates, meetings held. Oh, fun. Alright, so December 2019. Does it say who the president was? I don't want to listen to the minutes, and I don't want to download. Oh gosh, that's too much. Okay. So it looks like M. Coker was not the president at that time, because you can't have Juan Mejia sign it before October 2019, and you can't have M. Coker as president while Peggy's president in 2020, and she posted the video of these certificates 2 years ago. So, doing the math, just there, unless she ordered them. No, you know what? I can't even say that because that was a 2-year term. So we've got a lot of holes in just her TJC accredited university alleged certificates issued in the name that she didn't utilize while she was attending that school. And then compared to the old ones, it's very, to me, it is very clear that the style they were using does not match the style of the one that she has now, and the style of the fake one that you can purchase looks practically identical with the exception of the personalized information input. So we broke that down all the way that I could, and then if we get email back from the administration saying we did not issue these certificates, then I can just close the book on that one and say, all right, we got the answer. The other things that we needed to look into were the Universal Life Church. As you can see, I've been here. I went here yesterday. We're gonna go here again. Drink some water, y'all. So what we have here that I have found is how to become an ordained minister. This is their homepage. I will read this to you again. The Universal Life Church is a non-denominational religious organization with millions of members all over the world. Over the decades, the ULC has garnered global recognition for its promotion of universal togetherness and religious expression around the world. By becoming an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church, you will be granted all the rights and privileges afforded to the clergy members of other faiths, including the ability to perform legal wedding ceremonies. Ordination also opens the door for you to start a personal ministry, preside over other religious and spiritual ceremonies, and much more. Membership is open to anyone who feels called to join. The ULC is multi-denominational, welcoming individuals of all backgrounds and belief systems into the fold. Plus, unlike traditional religious organizations, we don't require years of training or expensive courses to become a member of the clergy. Becoming ordained is free and can be done entirely online. Then, how to become a minister. The Universal Life Church believes that all people are naturally endowed with the right to control their own spiritual life, and thus that all those who feel so called should have access to ordination. Ordination at the Universal Life Church is completely legal, is cost-free, and isn't complicated. An ancient Chinese proverb instructs us that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. When within you lies the capacity to make the universe a better place, and your ordination may well unlock that potential. You can take your first step today by completing and submitting your online ordination application now. Additionally, you can delve into more ordination information. It goes on to explain minister training. And then it goes on to contact marriage license authority. So, perform the ceremony, fill out the marriage license, after ceremony duties. So this is a very simple process. That is the become a minister. They've got wedding laws that tell you where people are allowed to be married in America. So this explains how you are supposed to understand your wedding license issue, make sure everything's legal for the people who are getting married. You know, you don't want to go and have a wedding that isn't official if you're trying to make it official, you know. And they offer you scripts so that you can like tailor it to the kind of service. Simple, Wiccan or pagan with hand fasting, whatever modern means, Christian, humorous, traditional, all-inclusive, interfaith, marriage, sand, I don't even know what that is, but okay, Muslim, traditional Spanish, modern Jewish, civil, ring, nature, gender neutral, candle lighting, fairy tale vow renewal. I mean, they have all of these. They're trying to reach everybody, all faiths. Okay, good, fine, all right. Officiate. How to officiate in your state. We've already been there. Minister training. This is the training center. This is the intense training center that qualifies you. Y'all. Alternate ceremonies training page. Rituals and alternative ceremonies. When you think of spiritual rituals, you likely picture large-scale events that require a great deal of time and effort, right? Although there are some specific ceremonies that do require complex planning, the vast majority of rituals are not overly complicated. In fact, there are many simple and meaningful rituals that you can complete as a ULC minister. And then it goes on to discuss how you can prepare yourself to do these rituals. So, Rituals 101. How do you define a ritual? It's a tough question. Does the presence of candles, incense, prayers, and/or chanting make something a ritual? Disagreement abounds. While individuals may have different ideas of what exactly constitutes a ritual, it can generally be described as a ceremony to signify a major event. Marriages, coming-of-age ceremonies, births, deaths, and religious holidays are all good examples. Other events like Advent season or the coming of the new moon are often marked with a ritual ceremony. Note, many rituals make use of religious symbols or parables for added significance. Rituals can be broken up into two main categories: outcome-based and observance-based. Rituals that are outcome-based are carried out with the goal of achieving a particular outcome, such as marking a newfound commitment to a religion. An observance-based ritual, on the other hand, highlights a specific event, such as a new moon or religious anniversary, with no express purpose other than to celebrate the event itself. How to perform an outcome-based ritual. Typically, this type of ceremony follows a narrative of framework, which includes a logical beginning, middle, and end. Below, we have compiled a short guide to follow. While the framework we present can be used for almost any ritual, this guide is especially tailored to outcome-based rituals. If you have a particular event that you are planning and require a minister, you can use the Find a Minister tool on Get Ordained to look for someone that can assist you for your specific needs. Our ministers often find it helpful to incorporate a sacred story, myth, or cultural narrative into a ritual to enhance the experience for all involved. If you are feeling stuck in the planning phase, try searching for related stories and incorporate them into the ceremony. This is how you can structure your ritual. By specifying what the purpose is, you say a prayer, you emphasize your desired transformation, you perform your transformational aspect, and then you have your closing. A house blessing explained. This explains how you can bless a house, which is an ancient ritual performed when moving into the new living space. Its purpose is to transform a foreign space into an area of peace to call one's own, turning a house into a home. The ceremony is typically performed right before or right after one moves into the space, but can be done at any time. It goes on to explain how an ordained minister can set up a ritual for this, and then at the end it says practice makes perfect. Doing your first ritual can seem a daunting task, but following our outline will help to simplify things. Once you gain some experience performing rituals, such as the one listed above, you will gradually begin to feel more comfortable and confident. With practice, even the most complex of rituals can be performed with ease. And now we go back to the training center. Now you are fully prepared to do alternative ceremonies. Wow. We've been schooled together. Look, we all learned it together. Wedding training. Wedding Welcome to the ULC's very own Wedding Training Center. We have compiled a number of resources to assist ministers and couples alike. Whether you're getting ready to say I do or you've been asked to officiate a wedding ceremony, we're thrilled to offer some valuable tips and guidance for the big day. We recommend starting with our step-by-step guide to performing a wedding. This section offers a complete overview of the process start to finish. If you want more specific details on officiating a wedding for where you are, you can view that process with our thorough guide. For advice on how to handle the legal paperwork, make sure to check out the marriage license page. If you want to learn more about how to obtain a minister license and about online ordination, click that link for information. Oh, and it's always smart to visit the state marriage laws page. Learn about any specific wedding laws that apply in your area, and they want you to file materials. So, how to perform your wedding, how to fill out your license, marriage counseling, wedding script samples, script generator, state marriage laws, wedding supplies, ensure the wedding is legal, what to charge, how to ask a friend to officiate for you, become a professional officiant, all of these little things, these little entries to help you. Now, marriage counseling, that sticks out to me because marriage counseling is something that Ellen included in her credentials. Introduction to marriage counseling. Here we are. Buckle up, everybody. We're about to go to school. Get your diplomas ready. As an ordained minister, you have the wonderful ability to conduct marriage ceremonies, joining two kindred souls in matrimony. But life is still full of challenges, and marriage is no different. It requires hard work and commitment to maintain. Sometimes this means counseling to get through rough patches or work through issues. In the course of your duties as a minister, you may be approached by couples looking for guidance. You should consider this an honor. It means the couple trusts you to provide meaningful advice and counsel. For those interested in taking on the task, we've compiled an informative guide to help familiarize our ministers with marriage counseling. Please first be aware that while in many areas being an ordained minister is sufficient to provide counseling services, in others it is merely the first step. You may be required to become certified through the government. This can be regulated at the city, county, or state level, or any combination therein. Be sure to check out the local ordinances before you counsel anyone. I would like to remind everybody that Ellen is offering counseling services, online and in person. Offering them online to people who are outside the jurisdiction of your ability to counsel as an ordained minister. Come on, let's put the pieces together. We cannot do that. We have to make sure that everywhere we are providing our services that it's legal for people to receive them. This includes doing it online. Understand the conflict. No two marriages and no two conflicts are alike. Marriage problems are often complex in nature, and that's how you should approach them. Exercise caution at first as you work to assess the situation. Ask probing questions in order to understand where both sides are coming from. Jumping in too quickly can be a recipe for disaster. Treat the problem like an onion, slowly peeling back layers as you go. Whatever you do, don't stick a knife in and start dicing right away. Well, that's something Ellen says she does. Providing impactful marriage counseling means, first and foremost, being a great listener. Always stop to listen carefully to what someone is saying before responding. Simply having an intermediary provide a calming influence can be tremendously helpful in many situations. But if things get heated, which is always a possibility, find a way to diffuse the conflict. This might mean switching topics, taking a short break, or, as a last resort, putting off the rest of the session for another time. When to seek outside help. Online marriage counseling. How to become a better marriage counselor, professional protocol, beauty of helping others. Look, this is a big-ass page. This is a lot of information. Professional protocol. I would like to read that, though. If you offer counseling services to others, keep the following points in mind. Privacy. This is incredibly important. Sessions must take place with complete privacy, so keep in mind that when selecting a location, if you're in a shared space and worry about sound traveling, consider using a white noise machine to maintain privacy. Time management. Ensure that each session is conducted in a timely fashion and continues uninterrupted for the agreed upon duration. It is typical to schedule sessions in blocks of 30 to 60 minutes. And discretion. This should go without saying, but counselors must practice complete discretion. It's natural for people to be hesitant to speak freely during a marriage counseling session. However, they'll be much more likely to open up if they trust what they're saying will not leave their room. Sure. Online marriage counseling. I would like to read what they say about that. As with nearly every profession these days, technological progress has had a tremendous impact. Thanks to applications such as video chat, remote counseling is now a viable option for those who cannot make it into a counselor's physical office. This is a game changer for people living in rural areas where reliable counseling services are few and far between. It also helps to prevent incidents of professional bias. For example, gay couples living in remote areas sometimes struggle to find a counselor who supports same-sex relationships. Remote counseling provides a solution. It will require some technology know-how, but virtual marriage counseling is a great alternative for those with limited access to traditional services. So, I think that's a muddy area when you're ordained and you're offering counseling in areas where ordained people aren't supposed to administer counseling. Or they're not qualified enough, you know? They're not registered by the state. And then this one, it talks about when to seek outside help. You should feel no obligation to provide counseling. Even the most highly trained ministers need help. Sometimes if the couple is dealing with serious issues that you don't feel qualified to assist with, you can always refer to the couple to a trained professional. Thank you. What they're saying here is that you're not a trained professional and that you should see, unless you are a trained professional, I mean, you can be ordained and also go to school and be a therapist, like certified counselor. But I'm saying in this situation with Ellen, without having gone to college for counseling, she is not a trained professional in this field. So, I like how they point that out. I just think it's so messed up that Ellen is leaning on this to convince people that she's qualified to help them. So let's go to the store. Remember how I said I wanted to talk about her qualifications? That's the wrong picture. So we're going to go and we're going to open the right picture. And I'm just going to keep this right here while we scroll down here. We're going to look at all of these, okay? We're going to make sure that we see them all. But this is a letter of good standing. Let's read the Ellen's letter. In reply, or in re, letter of good standing, Ellen Ring, that's her name, finally a certificate with her actual name on it. Ellen Ring has requested this letter of good standing. We acknowledge that their ordination is in good standing with the Universal Life Church Monastery, and we grant them the authority to perform the sacrament of marriage. This minister's credentials of ministry have no expiration date and have been verified this day. Please direct any further questions to our headquarters below, and then it is full of the notarized stuff. All of the notary public stuff. And all of this checks out. This is legitimate because look what you can get. A letter that has your good standing in it, signed by the appropriate people, and you can buy it for the low price of $18. So for $18, after you've been ordained, because remember you need to be ordained before you can order from the store here, for $18 you can get a letter of good standing that somebody who you've never met will sign saying that you can do this stuff because you filled out a form online. Alright? So let's go back to the minister store. Let's close that tab because we don't need it. There's the tab we need. So let's go back to the top. Let's see what they have here. They have the classic wedding set, the premium wedding set, the emergency wedding set. They have apparel. They have certificate things. They offer books, the Pandemic Wedding Set, Premium Credential of Ministry. Let's see if we can open this. Credential of Ministry. This is to certify that so-and-so completed all the this and that. And you know what? You know what? Some of these things on this wall look like, you know, she ordered them from there, which is completely fine and legal. I think it's right up there. You see this right here? Up here in this corner? That is the certificate of ministry that we are looking at. Credentials of ministry. Because I can see where the seal is, and I can see how the writing is. So she's got the credential of ministry up on the wall. I know you can't see me pointing at my fucking screen. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm acting like you can see what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So there's that. And it's just one of the things that's on her wall that she can buy for $11.99. For $11.99 plus shipping and handling and whatever add-ons you want to have it framed, if that's what you want to have, you can have your credential with a nice pretty seal on it. Now let's go back to the store. Let's see what else there is. Honorary religious degree. Let's look at this. An honorary religious degree grants a special honorary faith title to ministers upon request. An elegant design, careful calligraphy. They're ideal for framing. As an honorary religious degree, while operating your ministry, it's important to feel comfortable and confident in the title attached to your name. Sometimes conventional titles just don't cut it. By its very nature, faith is unique to each and every individual. When it comes to religion, not everyone can fit into preconceived boxes, and that's okay. That's why the Universal Life Church grants upon special request, or for the price of $13.99 plus shipping and handling and add-ons if you choose to get them, customized honorary religious titles to its ministers. Some common honorary titles include Reverend, Minister, Pastor, Chaplain, Life Coach, High Priestess, Doctor of Space and Time. After your request has been received, we will send an official certificate with your custom honorary title granted by the ULC. Each certificate we issue comes on sturdy, high-quality paper and features your name and title written in calligraphy. Note: please remember that all granted titles are honorary, meaning they are not accredited. Honorary titles apply to your ministry only and should not be interpreted to mean that you hold any special leadership role within the ULC headquarters organization. So, I like how they explain that honorary is not the official title. And let's go on, let's check more. Doctor of Metaphysics degree. So we've seen online where Ellen claims to be a Doctor of Metaphysics. I want to see if I can find it on that wall. Excuse me about that, Mike. I apologize. Because right there is TJC, TJC, and TJC. That's the ministry one. This is probably the wedding officiant one. But where's the doctor of, Okay, so it has a seal on top and a seal in the corner. I think it's this one right by the lamppost that we're looking at. You see? You see where the seals are? Or that little design and then that seal? You see how it, the name, and then it's long enough to be Doctor of Metaphysics degree. And then it would have been issued on the date that she ordered it. So I'm positive that I see that. Okay, her honorary religious degree. Let's see if we can find that one. It has a pretty pretty work at the top and then a seal down at the bottom right. Can we find it on the wall? It is hereby declared that, see, that's similar, but I don't think that's it. I want to find the wedding officiant one. Like maybe I skipped over it. Classic wedding set. Emergency. You know, it might have been in one of these. We're going to check the ordination set. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Premium minister set. Yeah, I think those are the ones. Doctor of Divinity degree. I think we skipped that too. We can't forget Doctor of Divinity. So here we have our ordination set. In your ordination set, you get your credentials of ministry. Now I want to look at the wall. Credentials of ministry, there it is. Okay, so right here, up here, there's her credentials of ministry. That's this one. Her premium minister set. It'll have baby naming, which I don't see here. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think all of these over here, towards the left, I think we're looking at the ones for baby naming, hand fasting, baptism, and house cleansing. But I can't really read them clear enough, but I think that's what she had framed. I think she got this whole set and had them all framed. Because doesn't that make her wall look so official? Doctor of Divinity. Just like metaphysics. Where's her doctor? There it is. Doctor of Divinity right there. Doctor of Metaphysics down here. Wedding officiant. TJC. Alright, you see? This is Ellen's fancy ass wall. How much does it cost to become a Doctor of Divinity? To show off a certificate, that's $19.99. For $19.99, you can be the Doctor of Divinity. So here, it's an honorary title only. It's not accredited, please. Do you feel your ministry calling you to the next step? The Doctor of Divinity is issued by Universal Life Church Ministries as an honorary degree that grants the recipient the title of Doctor of Divinity. Members of the ULC are lifelong learners, ever searching for answers to life's great questions. Who are we? How did this world come to be? Are greater powers at work? And if so, how can we better understand them? This honorary divinity degree is a direct reflection of a commitment to a greater knowledge of the divine. Obtaining the Doctor of Divinity title designates the bearer as someone who has fully committed themselves to the study of divinity and all its mysteries. With that in mind, each Doctor of Divinity degree also comes with the ULC's educational booklet, The Guide to Divinity. With your name written in calligraphy, this elegant document is sure to stand out on a wall and is ideal for framing or display. Your premium wedding set. You can get all of that fun stuff together for $59.99 for the hand fasting and the baby stuff, and for $19.99 metaphysics degree. So, you know, for like a couple $100, Ellen can make herself look real damn good. I don't know how to make these things go away. How do I... God damn it. I don't know how to close things. I don't know what I just did. Y'all, I can't close my window. I can't find it. I can't get out of it. What the fuck did I just do? Okay, so I was apparently in full screen. That was bad. Y'all, I shouldn't be allowed to do this shit, but here I am. Nobody else has fucking time. I have fucking time. So, there you go. Those are Ellen's fancy credentials. That's her Doctor of Divinity. $20 plus shipping and handling and the frame if she wanted it. There's your Doctor of Metaphysics. There's your wedding counselor. So, these are real. They're obviously going to be issued in her name when we get a closer look at them. Because I'm pretty sure Dave has them. And I think they're all in her damn name. So you can get all this stuff. You can all this stuff together. Premium set. $44.99. You get all these extra certificates that you can hang up on your wall. All it does is fill space and make you look good. Your ordination set. $29.99. You get a parking hanger and a window cling and a minister parking placard and 3 styles of bumper sticker and human timeline of mythology and religion. You get your credentials, a wallet license, a little black and gold clip-on clergy badge. You know, you get all these fun little things. But you're still not a certified professional in anything. They don't require you to complete any schooling or have any official understanding of what's going on. So I would like to know, can ordained ministers give counseling in Texas without a license? Do pastoral counselors need a license in Texas? Pastoral, alright, this is victorywool.org. We're going to open the tab, but we're going to look at the short answer. Pastoral counselors in the state of Texas are exempt from the Licensed Professional Counselor Act under Section 503.056 of the Texas Occupation Code if they are employed or volunteer as a counselor with a public or private nonprofit organization or charity. So the only way Ellen has been able to provide counseling or claim that she can provide counseling is because of that nonprofit. Anything she's tried to provide outside of that nonprofit, she would have to be an actual verified counselor. So, verifying Christian counseling methods. There's 3 different types of counseling. I don't really need to know all of that. But, pastoral counseling ministry. My God, I really don't like this website. Some pastoral counselors are pastors with a degree in theology and some education in counseling, with the greater educational emphasis being on teaching the Bible. Often this is because they're either a pastor or an associate of a church. The primary difference between a pastoral counselor, board certified by the National Christian Counselors Association, and other pastoral counselors is that NCCA board certified pastoral counselors have a degree in counseling and education and theology, but with the greater educational emphasis being on counseling. Additionally, the NCCA board certified pastoral counselors must also complete a supervised counseling internship once they obtain a minimum of a bachelor's degree in counseling and complete continuing education. Wow. Pastoral versus state licensed. Most states have regulatory laws concerning the practice of psychology. The primary difference between a pastoral counselor, board certified by the National Christian Counselors Association, and a state licensed professional counselor, LPC, is that counselors licensed by the state are held to strict ethical standards which mandate an individual's right to be free from religious interference. The state licensed professional counselor is usually forbidden to pray, read, or refer to scriptures and or to counsel certain moral issues based on religious Christian principles. The only time a state licensed counselor can legally involve religious principles, morals, activities is when the counselee initiates or requests counsel in those areas. NCCA board certified pastoral counselors are educated in psychology from a biblical worldview. So, okay, these people actually make sure that their people go to school. Pastoral counselors in the state of Texas are exempt from Licensed Professional Counselor Act under Section 503.056 of the Texas Occupation Code if they are employed or a volunteer as a counselor with a public or private nonprofit organization or charity, remain accountable to their sponsoring organization, and do not hold themselves out to be a counselor licensed by the Texas Board of Professional Counselors. NCCA board certified pastoral counselors are required to uphold those code of ethical standards. So, this is just a website discussing religious things. It is not the website. Who can provide psychological service in Texas? Texas law requires a provider to hold a license to administer service to an individual in Texas, a temporary license. That's psychology. I would like to find more about just answer.com. (2002) ULC case law. ULC court cases. 2002 Texas Attorney General opinion, October 22nd, 2012. Remember that the Attorney General opinion listed below refers to the ULC of Modesto, California, not the ULC monastery. Okay. Unknown, though Miss Lee presumably was a Universal Life Church minister curious about the licensing requirements for practicing psychologists in Texas and whether or not ordination through the ULC would ease any restrictions vis-a-vis getting licensed that are placed upon them. So to Miss Lee, the question you have is how the Texas State Board of Examiners of Psychologists, hereby referred to as the board, decides if an individual is exempt from the licensing requirements for practicing psychology due to the claim that the individual has a recognized member of a clergy and is acting upon his or her ministerial rights. You have asked whether or not there are guidelines in Texas that define what the religion or what the recognition of a minister by a clergy is, and whether or not an individual ordained via mail order or the internet falls under that definition. We have concluded that if we are to examine whether a person is a recognized minister of a religious organization, we may use the ordination of the individual, if paid for via the internet or the mail, as one of the factors to determine if the individual is indeed exempt from licensing requirements. This factor cannot be used itself to determine this matter, however, unless there is no other evidence provided by the individual to prove his or her activities as a minister or affiliation to his or her religious organization. According to the Psychologist Licensing Act, anyone who practices psychology must be licensed to do so by the board. Practicing psychology without a license is a misdemeanor. Those exempt include recognized ministers or a religious organization like the Universal Life Church that are acting within their ministerial duties and rights, as long as they do not describe themselves as psychologists or describe their services as practicing psychology. Pretty sure we had some screenshots of that. The law concerning psychology licensing notes that a recognized religious practitioner is exempt. The Texas State Board of Examiners of Professional Counselors defines a religious practitioner as being a member of the clergy, rabbi, or an ordained minister who belongs to a church or religious organization that has been legally recognized. We believe that this applies to recognized ministers who provide a pastoral counseling to their ministry, and that it is limited to their ministry. It is difficult to decide what is or isn't a legitimate claim for a religious exemption. When investigating such a claim in order to determine whether it is valid, the board will often use the opinion of the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. The IRS has been involved in several investigations in order to determine whether certain religious organizations qualify for tax exemptions. Your questions regard mail order ministries. This is an enterprise that provides ministerial credentials to anyone that wants them for a small fee or donation. Individuals have been known to apply for ordination in this manner in order to evade income tax payments and participate in other schemes. The Universal Life Church, based out of Modesto, California, is one such ministry. According to court cases such as Universal Life Church versus Utah, the organization is willing to ordain anyone who wishes to be ordained through the mail or the internet. Previous court cases have found that no ceremony or oath of any kind is required by the ULC, and nothing is required of an individual who has become ordained minister of the ULC. The Universal Life Church legal team was told that Utah statute only forbade ministers who received their ordination through the mail or the internet solemnizing marriages, and not those who applied for the ministerial credentials over the phone through fax or in person. The board has decided that it will not distinguish between individuals applying for exemption based on the method through which they received their ministerial credentials. However, the board will require more evidence that the individual is a recognized minister or a religious organization in addition to any certificate that individual may have. Although receiving ministerial credentials through the mail or the internet is a factor, deciding on an individual's exemption from practicing psychology without a license, the individual's activities as a minister must be investigated. If the individual's practices are no different than the practice of psychology, then he or she will not be found exempt of the Texas statute. This should make it clear as to where the Universal Life Church legal standing concerning exemption Texas state law is. Attorney General Opinion Summary. People looking to practice psychology in Texas must first be licensed by the Texas Board of Examiners of Psychologists. They face getting charged with a misdemeanor if they do not. One way to get an exemption from this requirement to practice psychology without getting licensed is to become an ordained minister, although ministers who get this exemption can't only function as a psychologist and never as ministers. Doing so would demonstrate that they are in fact the former and not the latter. Various state agencies like the aforementioned board examiners of psychologists recognize Universal Life Church ordination, although some forms of ministerial documentation are required to demonstrate the ULC. Ministers are in fact ordained. Most importantly, a Universal Life Church minister looking to gain exemption from Texas psychologist licensing requirements must be a practicing minister and be looking to perform psychologist duties second to that role. The board will not grant an exemption if they do not. I believe that Ellen is trying to put her psychologist practices on the same level as the religious, because her religious practices are psychology practices, according to her. You know, the whole change your mind shit. And I don't need to read the rest of that. So, we're finding on the surface of the internet, without like breaking into deep dives and going into Texas law websites, which are going to be full of really big words, churchlawandtax.com. So there are some forms of counseling that as an ordained minister, apparently you can be allowed to practice as long as you are advertising yourself as a church nonprofit religious organization or something. But my questions are, is there a limit to what you can do within those religious, protected, psychological themed sessions and ceremonies? Because that's the question I didn't ask yesterday. So, are ministers always exempt from state-required counseling licenses? A Florida appeals court decision offers a rare look. Interesting, this is from Florida. Every state strictly regulates the practice of both psychology and counseling. However, pastoral counseling within a church to members of congregation does not constitute the unauthorized practice of either psychology or counseling. So I think what we've been finding with Ellen's businesses is that she's trying to push counseling and therapy. And then she's trying to say that it's part of her religious experience, but she's not trying to introduce us to any specific entity in practice. She's trying to individualize everything, kind of, while doing the same thing to everybody. And in her own words, she has described herself as being very abrasive and abrupt. And there has been a couple, at least one that I've documented, reviews that called her abusive. They said that she was a horrible person. The services were not calm and peaceful, you know, I'm paraphrasing here, but they had bad experiences with her. So, minister sues for false arrest and malicious prosecution. That's interesting. All 25 criminal charges against the world to be abandoned. Reasons are unclear. The plaintiff then filed a civil lawsuit claiming false arrest. Okay, so this isn't actually relevant. Texas will soon allow unlicensed chaplains to act as school counselors? No! No, Texas, what are you doing? Citing a shortage of school counselors, Texas passed a law allowing chaplains to be school counselors. Some say it's the government's responsibility, not churches, to provide mental health services. No, why? Y'all, some of the most abusive and manipulative people are the ones who claim religious authority. They don't just tell you you need to understand your mind and your environment and learn how to cope with it. They threaten you with like eternal punishment in certain situations. Like if you end up being counseled by one of those religious professionals who's into fire and brimstone, you aren't just being helped, you're being coerced and low-key threatened into changing your behaviors based on whatever this religion says. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. I'll take the hate. I don't care. I think religious practices are personal, but I don't think they need to be what are shaping the minds of children in a public school environment where maybe they're not practicing the religion that counselor is part of. And there's going to be situations where these religious counselors, these pastoral counselors, are only going to be good for certain areas. They're not going to be all faith pastors. Some of them are going to be specific faith pastors. And that's going to be very damaging to the kids who need help from them, who live different lives and have different or maybe no religion going on. I can't get into that. That's not what this is about. Okay, the stream's not going down that path today. But I'm learning that Ellen has found a loophole through this pastoral counseling. I would like to know what limits there are. So, can a pastoral counselor be sued for abuse in Texas? Because I feel like what Ellen is doing constitutes as clergy malpractice then. A breach of the duty owned by a member of the clergy, trust, loyalty, confidentiality, guidance. There it is, guidance that results in the harm or loss of his or her parisher. I believe that Ellen telling people that cancer is in their mind as her religious thing is dangerous, and I think it's malpractice because I believe that it causes harm to people who have cancer who are just trying to smile their way into healing. This is why I'm doing this. If an individual believes they've suffered emotional distress due to something that occurred as a religious institution, they may be able to file a civil lawsuit. So, surface of Google, not digging down, not going into case law history. Look, we don't have time for that, but this is the surface of Google. These are my general questions, and she's trying to offer sexual therapy. She sells herself as a sex goddess, and then can an ordained minister have sex with their... Because they're not clients. If she's doing this under her ordained thing, they're parishioners. I probably spelled that wrong. A clergy person engaging in a dating romantic relationship with someone who relies upon the clergy person in their pastoral professional capacity is sexually exploitative. Okay, that's dating. Quora, general, I mean, people are saying, yes, it happens, but I'm like... Ministers who engage in sexual conduct with adult members of their congregation expose their church to potentially substantial liability. I want to open that. Because her Austin Secret Spa thing, she was advertising her charity through that. She was advertising her counseling services through that. I believe this is sexual misconduct. This is DarryLewisStevens.com, criminalized sexual clergy misconduct. Written in 2022 by Daryl W. Stevens, criminalized clergy sexual misconduct is the name of this article. And it says, should clergy sexual misconduct be against the law? This is one issue on which fundamentalists and feminists agree. On June 15th, the Southern Baptist Convention approved a resolution calling for the criminalization of pastoral sexual misconduct. 13 years ago, the National Organization for Women Now did the same. It is past time for churches and state legislators to respond. So this is an opinion piece. They are going to talk about the history of sexual abuse in the church and what the responsibility is for state, government, church liability for malpractice is going to be. I'm sorry, I don't have the time, but thank you for writing this person. Church law and tax. Clergy counseling and criminal liability. Article summary. Ministers who engage in sexual conduct with adult members of their congregation expose their church to potentially substantial liability, but there is another possible consequence in such cases that is often overlooked. The minister who engaged in sexual acts may be charged with criminal behavior and prosecuted. If convicted, the minister faces imprisonment. This article will address potential criminal liability of ministers for sexual contacts with adults. It begins by reviewing a recent case in Minnesota in which this kind of liability was addressed. The article also reviews the relevant criminal statutes of all 50 states so that churches will be able to access this risk in their state. Some ministers have engaged in sexual conduct with adults in the course of their ministry. Most of these cases occur in the context of a counseling relationship with a member of the congregation, but they can also occur with staff members and non-members. However they occur, such incidents can be devastating to the church. The minister may be suspended or dismissed. The congregation may be divided over the appropriate response, and the church may be sued by the victim, who may claim that the sexual contact was non-consensual. Some of these cases may result in negative publicity for the media, which can be devastating to a church's reputation. This is important because Ellen advertises herself as channeling sex gadget Bridget, or however it is pronounced. She's offering sexual therapy. She says she can remove sexual traumas. She has her little hug things. And she's on the adult websites selling sexual services in the state of Texas, while also advertising that she is a religious organization and a healer and a minister. And I do not know where the lines are defined between each of her activities, because in every instance, Ellen is representing her charity foundation for the services she's offering, right down to real estate. Every single thing she does, she puts it under that church umbrella, but she's not necessarily doing them in the name of the church and charity and religious and evolution. I mean, she says that she is. She puts out her little audio things in her songs that I don't have the mental capacity to listen to. I would have to have a friend holding my hand while I sit through it so my head don't explode. And what she's doing is crossing those lines of sexual misconduct through therapy administered under her charity, under her religious ordination presented personality. Sexual ethics, the Board of Ordained Ministry, I would like to email the Universal Life Church about this and ask them what they think of sexual misconduct and what they consider to be sexual misconduct. That's my homework for today. I'm going to email a couple of people and get questions answered, hopefully. But I would just like to remind everybody, this is her wall of credentials. These are 3 fake certificates that she claims are from TJC, and they are nestled amongst all of the printouts that you can get from the Universal Life Church that give you only honorary titles that are not licensed or accredited. And she is utilizing this to tell people that she has authority to practice all of these services under her religious protection. So now we know a little bit more about Ellen and her educational history. We know a little bit more about how she claims to have achieved these things. I'm not sure that I would like to look at anything else because, you know, here just looking at, you see all these pictures? Paula, her last day, remember? Remember, this is why we're here. This is why we are here. Because Ellen has given herself free rein to do whatever she wants to people, to berate them, to abuse them. This is her family, her mother. Remember the other day we were looking at her Facebook? Come on, let's go back down memory lane. Let's look at this. I need a new tab. I'm going to drag a new tab over here for you. Look, 2019. This is them in 2019. 3 years ago. 3 years. Talking to her, sending hugs and pets. This is Paula and Ellen. In 2019. And this is Paula in 2023. After Ellen was taking care of her. Taking care. With all of her credentials and her education and her dedication to healing and enlightenment. Just to remind everybody. It's impressive how full of shit you are, Paula. Helping you is such a fucking drain. Don't ever act like you're doing me some huge favor. It always comes with a massively ungrateful cost. I'm glad your girlfriend held her pew-pews and didn't clean the kitchen. Anyone who times an inch, you take a mile. Drink your water and go eat some crackers then. And all Paula had to say in her defense was, I did eat a bunch of the beans. And then Ellen continues to berate her in an even longer message where she tells her that being sick is her fault and that she's not even going to help her with her feeding tube. Look, her mom is in a place where she's going to need a feeding tube, and Ellen's healing capacity of love, compassion, and forgiveness and understanding is telling her to go fuck herself. So there it is. Ellen, her credentials, and this is the result of being cared for by her. I am the result of having to live in a space with her and be her fucking punching bag. I flinch when my own stuff falls down in the cabinets in my kitchen. I had a little remote from my party lights. It's on the microwave. I was reaching for something and it was kind of hanging off the edge of the microwave, and the remote fell down, and I went... Because of the years of Ellen fucking hitting me. She even made fun of me for it when I was 13. She tried to toss me something and I flinched and she laughed at me and she asked me why I was so stupid that I can't catch a ball. I don't know. Why is it that you had to hit me and give me an involuntary flinch reflex that I continue to have while I'm 38 in my own home where I know I'm safe? And this is after therapy. I've had 3 counselors because of this. And this is the progress. What you see is my progress of being able to hold my head up and say on the internet that this is wrong, that Paula should not have died this way. Ellen is misrepresenting herself as a healer and a counselor and I believe she has committed malpractice. And I'm going to do what I can to help make sure that she is held accountable. So if you have been here for today's stream, thank you so much. If you are able to share it, please share it. If you cannot, I understand. Now I'm going to try the very messy process of signing off and stopping the stream so that it doesn't, you know, get weird. So if I cut off while I'm saying goodbye because I don't know which button to hit, then I'm sorry, I'm saying it now. But until then, take care of yourself, walk your dog, water your plants, fucking take your meds on time if it's possible. Just do the things you gotta do and take care of yourself. And I will see you next time, and I will try to make smaller updates, and I'm gonna post some pictures of this on the community tab so that people can read updates who don't want to sit here and listen to it all. So, y'all have a good one, and I think I should have